Hello friends, it's Julian from Beauty Cosmos once again, and we've returned for 5 more series that seemed interesting enough for me to recommend to you that will be in solicitations this month and coming out in theory in January of 2022. So we've already done 5 independent series titles that were on the Diamond side of things. We looked at a couple from Image, from Source Point Press, Behemoth Comics, and a brand new studio called Bliss on Tap. So now we're going to look at titles that are coming out of DC and Marvel. They're releasing theoretically in 2022, beginning in 2022, but because of the paper shortage, some of them have already pushed their release date, and I'll try to look that over. Also, at the end of this video, we'll discuss the obligatory trade paperback I recommend to read this month or subscribe to this month. I also forgot to mention in the previous video that there's no video component on my side. I'm very sorry for that. I tried to film this at the store, and then I brought the wrong equipment. Then when I got home to try to film it, I have a lighting issue, so you wouldn't even see me anyways. So let's not waste the bandwidth on my CPU, and let's just talk about 5 series. And the very first series I want to recommend is actually Catwoman. And why? It is a new jumping on point for Catwoman, and it's written by brutally great writer Tini Howard. And she's been doing some fantastic things over at Marvel, and she had a 3-year exclusive deal with them, and she's continuing her series with them. It's just that now she's being branched off into DC's world, and she's handling now Catwoman. So it was Joel Jones who was writing Catwoman, and now Joel Jones clearly is just taking care of Wonder Girl full time, and Tini Howard will start off on Catwoman. So just because I feel she's a fantastic writer, Tini Howard, I think it's a great jumping on point to recommend Catwoman. You know, it's a little different from the rest of the Bat family because it is the thief's point of view, and it's the Alleytown aspect has done fairly well for the character, and the covers themselves have been completely gorgeous. Actually, let's quickly look at those. I'm very sorry. I'm not prepared for this at all. So Catwoman 39, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So this is the main cover from Jeff DeCal, who's great artist. I don't get the stilettos for the thief, but in any event. Then we've got the Jenny Free Zone covers, which I order exclusively just because they're fantastic Jenny Free Zone covers. And then we've got Michelle Pfeiffer here doing a 125, a beautiful cover of Catwoman. And so I think just this cover itself, it sells on its own. So these are the titles for the covers for Catwoman. Of course, if you subscribe to it, we'll subscribe you to the main cover. If you let us know that you only want the variant covers instead, because they are Jenny Free Zone covers. They've been for like, oh my, at least 15-20 issues now, if I'm not mistaken, Jenny Free Zone covers. So we'll just leave a note, and we'll be subscribing you to the B cover instead. Managed Comics 2.0 will have that functionality integrated. There's still issues with the Canadian side of things. So even though we're a 6th user on the beta test, we're still not in it. But anyways, Catwoman, beginning in theoretically January of 2022. The next series after this is where is it? Did I forget to bring it out? Well, it's called Batman the Knight. And Batman the Knight is a Chip Zdarsky series that I am very pumped for. When am I not pumped for Chip Zdarsky? And so here it is. The concept is the first year of which Bruce Wayne travels the world to learn his trade. He meets the League of Shadows. He meets Ra's al Ghul. He meets so many people that begins his training. And so I have no idea if this has been written before, but the concept itself seems really cool. It's not in Gotham, or very little will be, and it's not super old, gritty Batman, sorry, it is young up and coming Bruce Wayne. It's similar to Batman the Imposter, where it's like in his like first years as Batman, just causing pain to all the villains in Gotham City. This is him before that, learning the trade of being who he needs to be. And so it's a 10-part maxi series, 10 issues. It should be completed by the end of 2022. So I can't say, hey, there's a Chip Zdarsky series, you should subscribe. It's as simple as that. Next up, there's so much Devil's Reign coming out on the Marvel side of things. So you've got the main title starts in December, and you've got a plethora of tie-ins. You've got Superior 4, X-Men, Winter Soldier, and probably my favorite is going to be Villains for Hire because it's technically the Thunderbolts. The new Thunderbolts. So I'm kind of hyped for that. But the best one to me to subscribe to for anyone who's on Devil's Reign is Daredevil Woman Without Fear, because it is a 3-part miniseries specifically dedicated to Elektra as Daredevil. And just Woman Without Fear, I think, is an awesome tagline. And it's the only one that Chip Zdarsky is also... Hey, Chip is back. Other than the main Daredevil Devil's Reign title, he's writing Daredevil Woman Without Fear. Whereas all the other tie-in series are written by other members of the Marvel writing team. So the art style is Rafael Natale, I believe. Is it written somewhere? Rafael de la Torre. Okay. Let's look up de la Torre art. Animosity here. De la Torre art. It is a very good looking art style. That's all I want to say, is that this is something I can easily get behind, and it looks very good. So yeah, Daredevil, Woman Without Fear. Next series, She-Hulk. She's back. It's Jennifer Walters. It's not Immortal Hulk, or I'm sorry, Immortal She-Hulk. It's not giant, oversized, hulked out Mortal Hulk version of She-Hulk from the Avengers. It's just the regular Jennifer Walters trying to get her life back together because she's been immortal under the Immortals for so long. And so and we're seeing her being in the Fantastic Four series, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm kind of hyped for this series for a few factors. One, the covers. The covers are simply amazing. So you've got the Jennifer Walters main cover, and the second main cover is from Adam Hughes. So both of these covers are already amazing, and I'm certain that both fan bases will be picking them both up. The third, this one's the first variant, is Artgerm, so Stanley Lau Artgerm, and each one of these artists have their specific fan base, and some of them will obviously overlap. So all three covers, I can see the store picking up tons of, just for people who like the art that's going to be on top. As for the book itself, so we've got, Rainbow Roll, who is writing this, and she's mostly known for young adult series that she's written and has been, like, it's the critical acclaim. But I knew her from Runaways. So the volume 2 of Runaways, if I'm not mistaken, which was on and off. Most of the issues with Runaways, especially at the end, is that the pandemic, they just stopped printing them. And if I'm not mistaken, 2021, we had the final issue, which was issue 100. And it was an oversized issue, but it wasn't as solicited as the final issue, but that's what it ended up being. So I'm very curious to see what Rainbow will do, if she's going to do another young adult take on She-Hulk, or if this is going to be her first adult themed thing. Like, she'll get out of her own shell and write something fairly different for She-Hulk. And so, again, all three covers, Jen Bartel, Adam Hughes, and Artgerm. PRH does list more other covers. There's going to be a young variant and then a Liefeld variant, whatever. But I'm very curious to see what the young variant will be because usually, it's a comedic thing. And who would it be the Stormbreaker 125? Yeah, good chance this is Peach Momoko, if we're being honest. It could be, I forget the name, Corsaro? Anyways, it could be somebody else, but it's probably going to be a Peach Momoko cover. I'm kind of surprised. Oh no, look, Artgerm Virgin 100. So I'm sad that the Adam Hughes does not get a virgin version of himself because it would be gorgeous. And then Jen, I kind of like Jen's style with the backdrop. Being a virgin, I wouldn't be much of a fan of. But this is great. So She-Hulk, she's back. She's still sensational, or she's going to be sensational again. And I hope, honestly, Rainbow will give her a sensational spin. Yeah, that is my hope. Last series, and I'm cheating because it's kind of two, because they're together. It's the 10 Lives of Wolverine and the X Deaths of Wolverine. Why are they 10 lives? Why are they X Deaths? Because we know he's going through 10 different lives. We don't know actually how many times he's going to die from them. So it's much like House of X Powers of 10 or 10 of Swords. There is the X there for the X-Men universe, but sometimes it's the letter and sometimes it's the Roman numeral. In this case, it's 10 lives and X deaths. This is going to be a weekly series for 2 months' time, 12 total weeks or 8 total weeks. I forget. It's multiple issues. It was supposed to start the very first week of January. It's already been pushed to 2 weeks. It'll start with X 10 lives, and then that'll be week 1. Week 2 is X deaths, etc. through until all 8 or 12 issues have been written. It's supposed to be this giant Wolverine thing. I'm not a Wolverine guy. I'm being honest. Like I like the character, but I don't follow every one of his series. But I can recognize the people who read Death of Wolverine or the Wolverine ongoing series, or interested in learning more of the mythos of Wolverine. Sure, absolutely, definitely should subscribe to it. I certainly read Old Man Logan, and I've read what is that other series? Old Man Logan and the Beginnings. I forget. Origins. There we go. Origins. Origins was fantastic. Origins 2 was almost as good, and then Old Man Logan was the best because it's Mark Miller. So that is a 2-book you have, because if you can't only subscribe to one because you'll be missing the other issue. So it's technically one title, but it's weekly basis for the 10 lives and the X deaths. For our obligatory trade paperback, they're also printing a new Moon Knight trade paperback, a complete collection again. So last month we had Bendis. This month we have Jeff Lemire and Greg Smallwood's Moon Knight. So this is the series afterwards. It's the 2016 series, 14 issues, one time. It's great. Let's read more about Mark Spector. Why the hell not? So we'll have the Epic collections. We'll have the Bendis one. We'll have the Smallwood, the Lemire one. I believe there's one horror one. I decided to pick up a couple of copies of Jed McKay's small trade paperback because I realize I'm out of issue 2. Even though I have 1, 3, 4, I'll have 5, and I don't know what's happening to 6. I'm pretty sure 6 is going to sell out. So that is it for us this month. We've looked at 5.5-ish series over on the superhero side of things from Marvel and DC. 2 from DC, 3 from Marvel, or 3.5 from Marvel, plus the trade paperback. We looked at 5 indie series that will be in the Diamond Solicitation. So as always, if there's a series that you feel we missed and we should have mentioned, please let us know down in the comments down below. Otherwise, if there's something that you guys liked from this type of series, say you prefer the indie versus the superhero video, I don't know, for next time we'll keep doing it. But if you prefer the mixed up format, so you like always kept on your toes, I can go back to that as well, no problem. So that's going to be it for us today. I hope there's something in these series that I recommended that are interesting to all of you guys. Oh, and I forgot to look at the art style from uh, who's doing the She-Hulk. It's what's his name? Roger Antonio. Great artist. I love his. I love the style of the all of his characters. The details are fantastic. You can't really see anything on this one. His female characters look great. And this is what you need. You need a strong person to be able to write to draw female characters when you're doing She-Hulk. So I was just showing you guys. So that's it. If there's anything else, please let us know. I hope there's something in here you will guys will enjoy and be interested in subscribing to. Otherwise, we'll see each other later this month for more videos. I wish you all a fantastic end of day, and I hope you will always keep reading.